YouTube exclusive here on the channel. Thank you for tuning in and watching our videos. As always, like and subscribe if you're enjoying. Now, what are we doing a bit different? Well, we've got our Luris, we've got our crabs. This list just might be a trap. We'll see you in the deck tech. Play on words aside, we have ourselves blue-black mill, Demir mill, sporting Luris of the Dream Den here as our companion. However, it takes us back a couple steps in terms of things that we've done previously in mill, and let's take a look at those. So we have the Search for Iskanta package back in here as a one of, and I do like this land. It's very nice, and because you're milling, you usually in some ways mill yourself a little bit as well, maybe through a Mesmeric Orb, and you'll get to turn Iskanta on, flip it over, and get the spells you need. Mission Briefing makes a reappearance here, being able to drop something into the graveyard that we need, and then cast it. It is our Snapcaster Mage. Crypt Incursion is in here as always, a Set Adrift main deck. We have the Ruin Crab, the Hedron Crab. We have a Mystic Sanctuary over here, an interesting card to be seen. We have Surgical Main, we have Fatal Push, we have Trapmaker's Snare. So you may not be familiar with Trapmaker's Snare, but this one allows you to search your library for a trap card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Then you shuffle library. We don't really care about the shuffling the library, but we do care about the trap card and putting it into hand. Now, what do we do that's a little bit different? Well, Archive Trap has been played quite frequently with the list, and having the ability to use 2 mana to go get a card and then mill for 13 is always appreciated. But because we're also doing this trap, we might play Ravenous Trap here from the sideboard, which is a great card for getting rid of some of those graveyards, and it gives us a few more hits when we bring this in. We also have a Mind Break Trap as well. So this one, if you're not as familiar with this one, if an opponent casts 3 or more spells this turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay this spell, and exile any number of target spells. So this is kind of an interesting one. Not entirely sure how often this one will come up, but we have that for us. Echoing Truce in here, Aether Gust, Feed the Swarm, Damnation, Extirpate, just pairs all the way through. Pretty typical looking list other than our trap package, and I'm pretty excited to give it a shot. So here we are, blue-black mill in Modern. Let's get to the matches and see, can we trap our opponents? Blue-black mill, looking for our first opponent here, playing the trap variation. This recently went 5-0 as well on the 11-3 posting, which is when we are recording. Definitely some spice in here, and I do enjoy a little bit of spice. I hope you will too, and I hope we do well, and you'll enjoy the league. Let's go, first opponent, let's play some Magic. All right. Let's play first, always a great place to be. Declare Luris, nothing fancy about that. And our opening hand, Archive Trap with a Hedron Crab, and we have our own Luris over here. I think we can safely keep this. I also believe I can just slap out the Hedron Crab here, not too worried about removal. Luris could mean a lot of things, and I'm not willing to watch it get thought seized away. Get rid of the upkeep on my opponent's stop. That was from earlier. We have a Verdant Catacombs here. Good choice. Good choice in fetching. Overgrown Tomb puts it in sideways. Well, I'll go ahead and mill you. Alright, Wrenn and 6. Wrenn and 6, Mishra's Bauble, Scourges, all the good stuff, obviously. Let's play something here, mill a bit more, and let's go ahead and fetch. I am going to go ahead and shock in here, and mill a little bit more. We'll go ahead and pass the turn. I have a Visions of Beyond, and then I also have the Mission Briefing. Mission Briefing on the Archive Trap could be interesting. I believe that would still be casted for 0 if they have another fetch here. Otherwise, I'll just do a nice Visions here. Tarmogoyf's relatively large. That will be their turn. Let's go ahead and Visions. See what else I run into. If I would have left black up, we would have been able to Fatal Push. That's okay. We can still Fatal Push here. on our turn. Okay. So we have a field. I could field and fatal push to this, but I can't archive trap when I make them search. I think we'll just mill them a little bit here and set up for a fatal push on Tarmogoyf. Seems solid. Seems solid. We could also Crypt Incursion. There are some creatures over here, which would be relative... Oh, that's not a creature. Some creatures. Alright, we're going to lose Crab here. Going to go ahead and Fatal Push this. This is 6 damage. I'm not interested in taking 6. We have a Surgical now. I can also Mission Briefing for another Visions. Oh. Or we'll just be done. Sounds great. Alright. There you go. Easy enough. Engineered Explosives looks interesting. Things on 2 we would like to kill. Aether Gust feels okay here. I could see Feed the Swarm and Echoing Truth possibly being played as well. Damnation is a maybe. Mindbreak Trap is a no. Extirpates are probably no's. Lure stays sideboard. Ravenous Traps. My opponent's not really necessarily going to the graveyard, so we'll go no there. I can probably take a Surgical out. Probably actually could just take all the Surgicals out. Let's see here. Trapmaker's Snare for the Archive Trap is cute, but we aren't bringing in anything like super important here. So maybe I get rid of the Trapmaker's Snare. Maybe I do it like a one-on-one, but I think we'll be okay with our Archive Traps. Trapmaker's Snare could be converted into probably just either Feed the Swarm or Damnation. I'm leaning towards a 1-1 split here. Could even Echoing Truth, which would tempo them out. Echoing Truth would be bad against Bloodbraid Elf, though. Let's do a 1-1 split here. We're bringing in the Engineered Explosives, which is a bit like a Wrath effect on probably 2 to kill most of the things. And then Damnation's also a Wrath effect. Some tempo components here with Aether Gust, and a random Feed the Swarm seems fine. I think we're good. I'll keep. And we'll go to game number 2. Luris declared. Opening hand. Ooh, alright. We have a Fatal Push for a creature and an orb. This hand could use some love. I'm going to keep it. Mainly because they can discard this orb. That's fine. Crypt Incursion's not a bad find there. Peat land for our opponent. Remember, they don't have a clue of what we're doing. So, you know. They don't know I have like 5 lands here. Tarmogoyf. I suppose I want to kill this. I don't mind killing this and then just slapping down an orb here. Pretty free for us. We'll have a Drown the Lock next. Not immediately, but next turn we will, which is good. Glad I've kind of sequenced it in this way. My opponent's probably going to play a 3-mana spell here. This will be their opportunity to go after my hand here. They have a Bloodstained Mire. This will give them the hint that I don't have anything that's too troublesome here. We'll fetch and shock. Swift Spear. Okay. You do have to attack me. I'm filling up this graveyard with a Crypt Incursions, feeling pretty solid. Gonna put the Field of the Ruin up next. What else you got? And a Scourge. We mill a pair. Alright, let's do Swamp here. Let them untap. I'm probably killing this Scourge, though. I want that graveyard to be nice and full of creatures here. Swift Spear, Scourge, and a Tarmogoyf, plus this Scourge, probably. Seal of Fire. What else do we got? And a seal of Primordium. Alright, well, they can get rid of my orb. I'd rather them get rid of my orb than take 4 here. Taking 4 is really painful. I assume this is going to go ahead and hit this orb before they untap. Another orb here wouldn't be bad to continue to fill up the graveyard. We do have Lurrus that we can go grab, but Lurrus would die to a Seal of Fire. We mill 2. And now they kill orb. Alright. Visions and a crab. We have a Set Adrift. I could Set Adrift and put a Lurrus into play. We kind of waste their mana to play something. Sorry, Lurrus wouldn't be in play. It would be in my hand. Let's attempt to Set Adrift. We have to pick our cards down here a little bit more carefully because we do have the ability to flash back. So let's Set Adrift the creature here. They need to fetch now if they want to. And we'll just slap Lurrus in the hand. Lurrus is not planning to be played. We could also shuffle this away now, which maybe isn't too bad of an idea. Shuffle it away and get rid of the land that they can use to draw with. Now I don't have to deal with that creature. I kind of like that. Again, Lurrus is just dying to a Seal of Fire, so why give them that opportunity? Go ahead, opponent. Now they fetch. Overgrown Tomb. 1 card plus the draw. We are getting closer to them just maybe getting their own Lurrus down, which will be painful. They do put Lurrus into hand. Alright. Search for Azcanta. Let's go ahead and slap that down and leave ourselves with Crypt Incursion up. When they go to play Lurrus, at least I can Crypt Incursion. That looks like that's what the turn will be. I have 5 cards down here. I can make 6 with this, and then this would be 7, and would flip. Tempting. We slap down a Lurrus. Let's go ahead and eat their graveyard in response. They were planning to play a Swift Spear. We gain a bit of life. Not a lot. Just a bit. This also puts the Crypt Incursion in the yard, which makes the Search for Azcanta able to flip here. We will bin like a land. Red or green permanent here. This is not red or green. Let's go ahead and bin that. Let's flip. Engineered Explosives. Well, I can only put it up to 2. I can put it on 1 for Seal Fire. They'll replay. I think we're going to take the turn to go ahead and look for an answer to Lurrus here. I do find a Fatal Push and a Damnation. I also find a Visions. I think it's just got to be Fatal Push here, although the Damnation's kind of tempting. And then we can just fetch here and Fatal Push. I maybe could have done a Mystic Sanctuary to pick up a Visions. I forget that's in the deck. Hits themselves for 1. Sorry, 2. So we have Death Shadows here. If they run out a few Death Shadows, it'll be good for our Engineered Explosives. They do not. We do have an Archive Trap. One, two, three. Put Lurrus into hand here. Put an Engineered on 1. And plan to just pop that on their turn. I'm pretty good with that. Not disappointed with that, because then I can play Luris and then replay the engineered explosives out. Sounds good. Sounds good. I might even take this too here. If they try to grow this in any fashion, perhaps I will pop it, but I'm at 24. 2 damage is hardly anything. Plays a seal. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and pop this now. They put the seal out. The engineered explosives is kind of hit or miss for a little while here. Being able to throw down a Luris and then put a engineered on 2 kind of seems like a funny thing to do. Is there anything else in my graveyard that I want? I think it's just going to be the engineered. So if I do 1, 2, 3, this, engineered on 2. I'm not hating this line. Gives me a blocker as well that they'll have to eventually deal with. Engineered on 2. And I think I'll just hold on to the Palace in the Clouds in case my opponent makes me randomly discard here. Lightning Bolts Luris. That's okay. I'm not going to pop engineered explosives. I'll make them use their seal here. Not too concerned at our present state. Okay, 2 cards to beat here, and 37 cards left in the library. Opponent appears to be passing the turn back to us. Alright, Misty Rainforest is a cute one here. Let's play this out. Let's use the turn to do an Azcanta main phase. We have a Damnation, we have an Archive Trap. Well, I'll just grab an Archive Trap here. I think we'll just pass turn. End step, Field of Ruin, double Archive Trap, and throw a Visions of Beyond on top of the library. Thought seizes away here. We'll obviously force the fetch. Or the searching. Opponent floats a little bit of mana. It's fine. And let's Archive Trap them. Get them! Pew pew! Veil. Alright, well, they got 1 Veil. We'll see if they have a second Veil here. Oh, they've got a second Veil. Well, that's clever. Alright, well, this Thought Seize does 2 to them. They've kind of used most of their turn here. At end step, we'll do the Mystic Sanctuary, get this Visions on top. Death Shadow, it's a 5/5. I don't think I'm going to need to kill this. I want to go get some lands. Mystic Sanctuary put... Sorry, not lands. I want to get Visions here, so I can draw lots of cards. Let's start with that. Oh, it's just 1 because they only have 1 here. We're dumb. We didn't force anything crazy here. Let's put an Archive Trap into hand here. Put a Palace down past turn. Might have goofed slightly. I thought they were already at 20. I guess they would have been if the Archive Trap would have gone off. Alright. All good. My opponent's using all their mana here. They think I've already used the Visions. And they're going to attack me for what appears to be 6. It could be worse. Let's just say that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just Archive Trap them. Let's go ahead and fetch here pretty safely. Sunken Hollow's okay. Well, Visions. Draw some cards. They have 19 left. We have a crab, and a Feed the Swarm. All right, let's go ahead and feed. And I think I'm going to hold both crabs here because I think they have removal at this point. I do see a Crocs over here, but I'm going to be able to pitch a crab. We're going to pick up the Palace at end step here. I don't see them killing me here. Scourge. Scourge is an 8/8. All right. Let's go ahead and pick up the Palace. Should slightly telegraph what we're going to be doing. Let's play a crab. Let's play a crab. Shall I play another crab? Fatal Pushes. That's fine. That's fine, because I've got another crab. Let's go ahead and use this Kanta just to see what else I can do this turn. Mission briefing, damnation. I could get a Fatal Push here, which probably is going to seal this one up. We'll play our land that they're aware of. Mill. And then we can mission briefing here for... We could try to wait for Crypt Incursion, but I think I can safely... Oh shoot, I've tapped incorrectly. Well, I guess I'm doing something different then. Put this on top, put this on graveyard, and we will now Visions, since I've tapped incorrectly. Visions to draw those cards, and we'll pass turn now with 2 crabs, and hoping for no Teamer Battle Rage. As long as it's not Teamer Battle Rage, we'll be okay. If it is, punt away. Blood Crypt, Shoxin. This gets +2/+2. Well, it wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't. We're very, very fortunate here that it wasn't Teamer Battle Rage. Okay, so I've blocked now. I have an Engineered that I can put on 2. We can Orb. Throw this down on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 10 plus their draw here, and then I blow up after they untap. All right, a misstep there with our tapping with mission briefing, but overall we get there, thankfully. A win in the books. Mill doing what it needed to. Seems like it's pretty good. Seems like it's pretty good. We'll go to match 2 here. Run the mills. Match 2. 1 in the books, a little misstep. Let's be mindful of how we're tapping our mana. Trying not to use all the shortcuts and hotkeys. Let's do it again. Archive Trap was an all-star there. Crypt Incursion helped us as well. And Engineered Explosive actually did quite a bit, even against some of the stuff that my opponent had. Interesting list. Let's go. Let's find an opponent. Match 2. Let's play some Magic. Okay. Of course I'd like to play first. It's always a great thing. Luris here. I don't think I cannot keep. This hand looks fantastic. We'll start with Shocking in here, giving us the best opportunity with Crab and Fetch Land here. There goes the Crab. Go ahead, opponent. Good luck. Got a Fetch Land that I can use. I can use the Orb. I could kill something, put Shelldock in. Got lots of options here on turn 2. My opponent's asking me if I'm a streamer. I am. They recognize us. Is that good or bad? It's not Blood Moon. This This is one of the most interesting ways to be asked. They're like, aren't you a streamer? I am. Should go look me up and follow. But I remember some Esprit animator yank. Or do I remember wrong? Brew. Uh-oh. Oh no, fatal push. They know us for our Vesperlark reanimator list. Alright. Blue black here. Blue black. Let's go ahead and put crab down. Let's go milling a lot. Let's mill a lot here. I'm really afraid that this is going to be something with like Emrakul. I'm going to go get a basic island here. That way I don't get blood mooned out. Multiple spells could be cast in this list. We might have a reason for Mind Break Trap. Let's keep it going. I love these lands, by the way. Of the duels, this one with the hang glider is just sweet. I don't think my opponent's going to fetch very often. This archive trap is fairly dead in the hand. Let's put a shell dock down. What shall we get at the end of the game? There's not very any good things here. We'll get a ruin crab, I suppose. And we'll slap down an orb here, hoping they don't have snare. Resolves. Alright. Mesmeric Orb. A singleton trigger. Oh no. Alright, I've got to find surgical before I mill them too much more. Yield. Let's engineered explosive, Mystic Sanctuary, and Field of Ruin here. We get a land. We'll slap the land down and pass the turn. This is interesting. We'll just say that. Opponent appears to pass back to us. We get a crab. We're gonna just pass back here. Nice casual pass back. We draw each a card. I know they have bolts here, and I do need that surgical before we can really go after my opponent here. There's another archive trap. Gonna hang tight with our opponent. Sounds good, opponents. Let's keep going. Snapcaster. What, just bolt me? Snapcaster bolts. I'll go ahead and push this. I don't need any of that Snapcaster beats. Excuse me, opponent. No. Bolts my face, I go to 14. That being said, I am below 15. That's never good. Mesmeric Orb hits Omen, Reflecting Pool, and Cryptic Command. My opponent has no play for the turn. We mill a singleton card. Rune Crab. Alright, we hit a mission briefing. There's not really anything in the yard to be playing at the moment. Let's put a Rune Crab down and pass. I know I haven't put this down for a while now. Does it really benefit us now? No. I need a few more cards in their graveyard, please. At least this mills one more. Force of Negation's not bad to get rid of. Okay. Temple of Epiphany. That's beginning to get frightening here. Not going to use Mission Briefing. I'm going to be milling one anyway. Mesmeric Orb trigger. Baloo to Delta to the yard. Crab. We'll play new crab. I'm very concerned right now. Your move, opponent. Mesmeric Orb. A Remand hits the board. It appears they're going to do nothing else. I could be filling my graveyard here. There's a Crypt Incursion. There's an extra Visions. I need another land to be able to Mission Briefing and use Crypt Incursion. I'm just gonna pass. I'm really nervous here. 5 mana and we're gonna see the world spin here. Oh. Opt. Okay. Resolved. 4 more cards for them. They do find their land. We're in trouble. Just pass back. Come on, land. Fatal Push. This is awful. A land would have allowed me to start using Archive Trap. Again, Mission Briefing and Crypt Incursion seems like an okay thing to be doing. We're at 17 cards for my opponent. I'm at 11. They're obviously the one that's going to be first to 20 cards for my visions. They get rid of a Snapcaster. I find myself in another Archive Trap at this point in the game. No Surgicals yet. I'm going to get rid of this Fatal Push. Who needs that card? Here comes the Through the Breach. If it's Through the Breach, I'll concede. You know what? We can try to find a way to interact with this. Let's do a Visions. I know it's unlikely, but hey! Sometimes you've just got to get lucky. And it is on my turn. They can force. Okay. That's not good. 19 cards. Through the Breach resolves. At least I get to draw 20 cards now. 20 cards? Alright, we can concede. They untap here. I don't need to show them any more information. And they kill us with Emrakul. So we've got to beat an Emrakul deck. Emrakul, huh? Extirpate seems good, because I've got to hit that. Aether Gust seems okay. Mind Break is possible. Ravenous Trap, maybe. Like this. I don't like Set Adrift. I don't like Engineered Explosives. I don't particularly like Crypt Incursion here. I don't like as many Fatal Pushes. It's not bad to kill 1 or 2. And I won't mind the Snare as much. My opponent doesn't fetch very often. Maybe I get rid of a few of these Archive Traps and bring a Set Adrift back. Seems alright. Yeah, a couple Fatal Pushes, a couple this, a couple that. Okay. Okay. This will be an interesting one, being that my opponent doesn't fetch at all. They can play Blood Moon, but they're probably not going to. The Set Adrift might be a bit of a miss card, but I'd rather have the flexibility and not get got by something really strange. Alright. I think we keep this. I'm going to just put a Watery Grave in sideways here, and then I will have Crab and being able to fetch. I want to at least get my opponents a few cards in their graveyard before this Drown the Lock comes available. So having the Drown the Lock on turn 2 doesn't seem to be as important thing. I also have the Field of Ruin, which can help me out milling quite a bit. Alright, Crab, do your thing. This is going to be a fetch and easily a fetch shock, so that I have the black mana available to me. Kind of wouldn't mind hitting the Emrakul right now, but I don't. Instead, I hit 5 lands. I hope they didn't need a land off the top. Let's just say that. All right. We had a Field of Ruin. We'll do that. Mill them. Alright, I think we just hang tight here, leaving up Extirpate. We could try to Archive Trap them at their end step. We can also just do nothing. which seems okay here. New crab. Let's attempt to play new crab. Land for new crab. There we go. There's Emrakul. Extirpate it. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want you. Alright, let's see what can beat us now. I think I got them all 4. Alright, so we have Cryptic, plenty of lands. We've got a Boil over here as well. A little upset to see a Boil now that I'm tapped out of blue-black. We have Through the Breach here. We have 3 Snapcaster Mages, and that is about it. So if I can grab the Snapcaster Mages in the future, we'll be in good shape. Alright. Looks good. Shuffles away. Has this. You have a Force Through the Reach and Cryptic Command. Alright. Lucky for me, I can force the Archive Trap here. I assume this is going to just be a Boil. They need a Boil now rather than later. Yep. Okay. More cards in the yard for us. Land, please. Nope. Pass turn. There's nothing too frightening from my opponent that would kill us quickly. We are going to lose a crab here. We do know they have a Cryptic Command. Polluted Delta is nice to see here. Crab. I'm going to go ahead and fetch and shock here. Can't fetch shock. Let's go get an island here. Mill them some more. And then play crab and pass turn. I do see 1 Snapcaster in the yard already, so that's a good sign for us. Just need a couple more of those. This could be just a counter draw from the Cryptic Command. I like that. It was a counter draw. Alright. Totally fine here. Again, we're not too concerned about what could be beating us. I only saw Snapcaster. Reflecting Pool here, 3 cards left. An Extirpate. Probably okay to just Extirpate the Snapcaster Mage here. We get a trigger for Hedron Crab. We have a trigger for Archive Trap. I can do the Extirpate first. Getting rid of Snapcaster. Double check if there is anything that could be a problem for us. And then Archive Trap them. I think getting rid of Snapcaster here equals a pretty easy W. Alright, we do. Cool. Let's see. Any changes? Let's get rid of the Set Adrift. I didn't see Blood Moon. And an Archive Trap comes back in. There's nothing I can really do against the Boil. We just have to have one of our Drown the Locks in hand. I still like a pair of Fatal Pushes here just in case. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. Alright, brought the Archive Trap back in. Sounds good. Declare the kitty cat. Well, opening hand has a Surgical, which is cute, but my opponent can counter Surgicals. I also have 1 land. Let's mulligan this. This is much better. Let's keep this. Probably just get rid of the Misty Rainforest. Play a crab, play the follow-up crab and Polluted Delta. Surgical's not a bad draw here. Start with crab. Like I said, that can get forced, which is slightly a problematic thing. If we can nail that Emrakul faster than later, it'd be nice. There's a crab. Just gonna go crab mode on our opponent. Remands the crab. Do this to mill them some. I hate getting a watery grave here. I feel like it is necessary, unfortunately, though. And it's more or less necessary because I have another crab. Well, let's go ahead and nail an Emrakul here, see if they have the Force of Negation. Alright, we got there. This feels good. Steal everything. I'm going to take a quick screenshot here because I didn't get the hand last time. Alright, did they bring anything new in? Boils, 2 plus the 1 here. Lightning bolts, forces, 4 snapcasters. So snapcaster is my next target. We do have a boil coming. We do have 1 land, not 2. Alright. Sounds good. And we'll play new crab. Go ahead, opponent. Would love a land. A fetch land here would be great. They play the temple here. My opponent does have a remand, Archmage Charm, a couple through the breaches, and a boil. I'm gonna just wait. I prefer a fetch land here. I know this mills 3, but that doesn't, or mills 6, that just doesn't do anything for us. They top decked an Omen. We'll see where their scries go. And because we know they have boil, I'd rather have the land after the fact than anything. Especially a land that can cast a lot of our stuff. They had a River Glide here. When they scried, they put 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Come on, fetch lands. That'll work. That'll work. Let's do field here. And we'll just mill a couple. Seems good. There goes 1 snapcaster. There's a through the breach. We will do no interactions here. Looks like, oh, Archmage Charm. Do I care? I'm trying to decide if I care. We have Boil, Remand, through the breach, unknown card. Go ahead, opponent. Go ahead. I guess I could have fielded and gotten like a double use out of my crab. Ah, we're going to bolts. Okay. They can't. Oh, nope, they have a land. Are we gonna... We're gonna mill me. We're gonna mill me. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, get in there with that O2. Send that message. I'm gonna do nothing here. I just want to play my crab. There's an extirpate. We have not... Oh, there is a snapcaster here. I haven't hit a boil. Boil would be a cute one to hit with the Sunken Hollow. I'm just gonna play a crab down and see what my opponent does here. They could remand this. If they remand it, I don't think I do. I don't think I put it back. I suppose I could go ahead. So this is Boyle. I think in response to Boyle, I kind of want to just extirpate the Snapcaster Mage here, since that's kind of their win condition. I know they have a crab, but we can get rid of the crab soon enough. So we have Remand through the breach, which is what I had listed. Okay, so we have 3 lightning bolts left. That's about it. Okay. I'm really not too concerned here. I lose 2 lands here. I've got the Sunken Hollow, and we've been playing towards this whole entire game. Uses an Omen of the Sky, of the Sea to scry 2. They're doing this at upkeep. Puts 2 cards on top. They have Remand open. My opponent goes combat. I'm gonna block. I'm gonna block you. Denied. Alright, we're gonna play the Sunken Hollow first here. Mill a little bit past the turn. I do want to kind of get past the extra boils here. Would be nice. We'll see, we'll see. I don't really need to play anything else in the future here. Alright, crab. Mills me. Surgical and orb here. And a ruin crab. Okay. Fiery Islet draws. We hit crab. Gonna play Ruin Crab. I know they have this remand. So they just remand it. I get a partial mill here. And I'll slap the crab down. Alright, opponent. There you go. Crab. Oh, another remand. Alright, I know they have 2 Through the Breaches and some other cards. Don't need to worry about the other cards here, so let's get rid of our snipping tool. A land for our opponent. It's 40 to 23. We really are going down this line here. My opponent is committed. I appreciate that. We have a Mind Break trap. Okay. Let's try to play crab. I could bounce the palace here and get to replay it. Let's see if crab makes its way onto the battlefield here. The answer is no. This is spell 1. Counter return permanent. So they're returning Temple of Epiphany here. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and attempt to counter this. We've been doing this while they have the mana. They weren't floating the mana in response to the Cryptic Command. We have Force. That's 2 spells. Play an opt. Play. My opponent does not play opt. Temple here. 3 cards. 2 of them are Through the Breach. We know this. Alright, we mill over Island, Trapmaker's Snare, and a Polluted Delta. Mission briefing. I can convert this to blue here by picking up the Palace in the Clouds. and then replay. Get rid of some more cards of theirs. See an Archmage Charm here now. We threw the breach, and an unknown card. I will attempt a mission briefing. Be interested if they decide to counter this. And if not, I will probably Fatal Push. We got the GGs. Looks good. Alright. My screen is frozen. There we go. Match 2 in the books. Getting it done. Beating the deck that can bring their graveyard back into their library. And doing it with some traps. And extirpate. A lot of extirpate. Match 2 down. 2-0 overall. We'll see you in the next one. 2 down. Doing okay. Playing okay. Let's go find an opponent. Match 3. I'm pretty happy with that last one. I think our sideboard decisions were fairly accurate. And I think being able to get rid of an Emrakul list is pretty good. That being said, that Emrakul list is pretty crazy. The fact that they can run boils like they can, and basically an island-less list. They don't even have to play Blood Moon. It's not really Blue Moon anymore. It's Blue Boil or something, you know? That doesn't make sense. It's Blue and Boil. Crazy. Opponents found. Match 3 underway. Let's go. Let's continue to play some Magic. We can get this. Feeling good. Feeling good. Alright, we do not get the draw, or we don't get the play. That's alright, though. We get the good luck. Hand looks pretty good. We'll keep this. I don't know if they're a creature deck or not. We'll find out soon enough. Raising Triome is typically not. Unless it's Euro. We'll find out. Watery Grave here. Ruin Crab. Go ahead, opponents. Bolts Ruin Crab. Poor crab. It tried. Well, we have Archive Trap in our future. See if that benefits us. Watery Grave here tapped. Go ahead, opponents. Love to see a fetch at end step here. Fetch, fetch, fetch. Do it. Yes. Hallowed Fountain sideways. Let's nail them. Let's see if there's anything I want to steal with my surgical. Don't have a force. Alright. I see force. I see snap. I see cleansing wildfire. I see Teferi Little One. I see Sharknado. I think I want to steal either Teferi here, or maybe even just Sharknado here. We're being asked how how's Mill been. We'll answer in a second. I think Shark's going to be a real problem for me to beat. I think I can beat a Teferi. We were just saying pretty decent. Pretty decent. The 8 crab approach has actually been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with it. Alright, let's try to take this shark here. We'll get our snipping tool if this resolves. They didn't force the earlier thing. Alright, we'll steal a couple sharks here. Let's see what they can beat me with. Cleansing Cryptics, Jaces, Bolts, Helix, Reman's Paths, Snaps, Teferis. They have a Teferi in their hand. They did have the Force of Negation, which is interesting. They're saying that it's... They're calling my mill list my pet deck. Alright. Go ahead, opponent. Scalding Tarn played. Fine by me. I think Mill is at approximately a 1.5 tier. The fact that you see a lot of people playing it and putting up 5-0 results pretty frequently, really it just needs a big tournament finish now. And it's already done a couple big tournament finishes. Challenge-wise, it's also been quite up there. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Alright, I don't think this Visions is really going to get through a Cryptic and a Force of Negation very easily. I think this is definitely maybe the turn to go ahead and try to go ahead and just resolve a Visions to draw and try to get maybe Crab or something else to play out. Well, land isn't that, but hey, you know, can't always get what we want. Mystic Sanctuary picking up Surgical could be a fun one to try to get rid of a Cryptic or a Force of Negation. We could do this on their turn as well, depending on when they tap out. Just kidding. We would like to, at least. Teferi's going up here. Not really concerned about Teferi. Scalding Tarn played. We have Cryptic, Force, Mystic, Unknown card. There's a field. I'll just play field here and pass turn. They're going to use a Scalding Tarn at some point. I can field another color as well. And that'll put more cards in the graveyard, making the Visions in the future maybe better. Let's float a little bit of mana here. We're doing a Cleansing Wildfire. Go get black here. Let's go ahead and get rid of their Raging Triome. I know I'm not getting a Archive Trap out of this, but I'm kind of okay with that. By the way, instant speed Cleansing Wildfire is pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Go get a Prairie Stream here. Triome gets killed. Gonna go get my island. They go get their own island. We good? We're not looking too great at the moment. 29 cards to beat. Helixes, Bolts, and Snapcasters can definitely kill me. This matchup may be pretty difficult. There's just a lot of things can hit me. Might have to try to go after some of their counters in the future. Top of the library is 8. Who knows? Who knows? An Archive Trap, huh? Let's do Mystic Sanctuary and attempt to put Surgical back on top. We'll be using this Surgical to bait out a Cryptic or a Force of Negation on their turn. We know it's Cryptic, Force, and Mystic Sanctuary at this point in the game. Teferi finally draws a card. Scalding Tarn played. We don't know 2 of the cards. Flooded Strand, Basic Plains. Would love to Archive Trap. But we can't. We'll pick that card up. Go ahead and Surgical the Cryptics. There are no Cryptics over here. Let's Surgical a Force then. I'm going to pay some life into doing this. The reason for doing that is I do have the Archive Trap to cast, and if they decide Cryptics the way they want to go here, that's fine. They'll probably just cast a Force in response. Let's go ahead and... This Crypt Incursion's so bad. Let's just pass the turn here, I guess. So they cast a force. We have a Mystic Sanctuary and a Cryptic Command, plus some other cards. Looking pretty bad here. Game 1. I finally play the Mystic Sanctuary. They opt to pick up a Bolt. Teferi goes up here to 5. And they pass it back. We have a Ruin Crab. Let's go. Let's go, little crab. Are you going to counter a crab? You just picked up a Bolt. Alright, with crab dead here, I'm going to go ahead and go for this. Going to go with Sunken Hollow. Let's see if they have another counter here. Worth a shot. I don't get much other opportunities here. We don't know what's in their hand, other than that Bolt. Mystic Sanctuary here, picking up Cryptic Command. Okay, but they can't use that yet. Goes down to 12 here. Alright. Snapcaster and then Bolt me. There's a Bolt here. I can Fatal Push this. We may try to bait this with a Crypt Incursion first. We'll see. I'm going to 12. 11 cards. Cryptic Command in hand. I don't see another Snapcaster, so actually we only... Oh, no, there's one. They bounce the Snapcaster here. Get a Hedron Crab. Alright. We have crab and crab here. So we have 2 crabs, they have 2 Snapcasters. I suppose I'll go after theirs. Doesn't gain me that much. Maybe they'll play the Snapcaster down to try to do something else and I can Fatal Push it. Let's see here. Currently don't see any Helixes, and I thought I called out Helix from earlier. So of these last 10 cards, many of them probably go face here. Just let the Crypt Incursion ride, opponents. Let it ride. Gains me 6. You can beat that. What's next? What could I have next? Counters and draws. I'll just pass. We're at 10. Snapcaster plus a Bolt. There are no Bolts over there. They could Snapcaster and Cleansing Wildfire me. Bolts me. Down to 7. They only have 1 red mana here. This is kind of interesting. If I got a field, I could field off the red mana here. It might buy me enough time. Teferi draws a card. Okay. Field? Blue Delta is interesting. Hedron Crab. We know they have Snapcaster, so Snap Cryptic is an option here. Land. Mill. Uh-oh. I'm gonna wait for them to respond with like Snapcaster or something. Although being at 7 versus being at 6 could be a big deal here. Snapcaster. This is on my main phase. Still not at the end step, so I can't actually kill this. We'll attempt to. Haha. Got him. Oh, they thought they were at end step. They're just saying fail. We'll allow them to do this Helix here. So they Helix me. I go to 4. If I crack this, I die to a Lightning Bolt. Let's wait. New Snapcaster. Okay. What are they going to do? Just path? I think in response to the path, I've got to, because then a bolt kills me anyway here. So polluted delta, we can just go get a basic. We do mill them 3. Of course. Why not? They can attack me for 2 here. I need to be able to mill 1 more. Oh, nope. They had the helix. They had the helix. Came down to 1 card there. Pretty close. Thinking that I was a bit behind as well. That crypt incursion would have... Ooh, the field would have hit the red source. We were so close. So close. Alright, extirpate seem okay in this matchup. Mind break trap, maybe? Snap. Thing. I suppose I had Luris at one point in that turn. Could have put Luris into hand. They would have just bounced the Luris with the Teferi, though. I think we were fine with the line we did. Remember, we got rid of Shark early. Got rid of that Shark. Alright, I'm going to bring a Mind Break Trap. My opponent does fetch a lot, so Aether Trap, Archive Trap seems okay here. I think we can go with this. I think the main plan has to just happen here. Crypt Incursion gaining us a little bit of life would be nice. Probably not where we're going to get to win this game. We'll see. We'll see. Let's play first. Let's make things happen here. This opening hand looks great. Let's keep this. Let's keep this. I think I just land a crab here and see what they've got. They mulligan to 6 and then 5 here. But yeah, I think it's crab. Crab and force the issue. Do you have a bolt or path immediately? Flood Strand. The answer appears to be no. Go ahead and go fetching. Three lands. Looks like my opponent is interested in interacting with us. Triome. Let's go get a Watery Grave. Shock it in. Mill some more here. And we'll slap down a orb. Go ahead. Engineered Explosive is interesting because I could put that on 0 to stop sharks. Something I could do. We'll see if it's a thing we do. Flooded Strand for our opponent. Do we have like a Helix here? It's appearing to be. Helixes away the crab. We mill 2. A mission briefing. Let's go ahead and mission briefing. We'll put both of these on top of our library. We'll surgical away the Shark Typhoon. Putting both of those on top doesn't really super matter here because we're about to mill them away, but maybe it'll scare them. Maybe it'll scare them. All right, we have a Nexus of Fate in here. It's a small problem card. Small problems. We'll see what we can do about that card. Maybe we can mill enough lands. All right, third land, Scalding Tarn. We do have a Mystical Dispute from our opponent. We'll see if they do that. We are going to mill both of those Archive Traps here. Hit a land. Play a Polluted Delta and pass. Opponent mills 1. Extra islands. We have Mystical Dispute for my opponent, and that's it. I think we'll just hang tight. Ooh, crab. I can pay for crab. Let's do it. Nice. We have a crab. Seems good. right, appears I'm going to mill 1. I have a surgical here. I do see Snapcaster here. Snapcaster's kind of tasty. I have a Jace as well. Let's pass the turn with keeping surgical around. It could hit this Teferi as well. Could hit the Lightning Helix. Let's go to their turn so that I'll do this at their end step and pick something to snag here. Snapcaster. Alright. Lightning Bolt. In response to this Lightning Bolt on Ruin Crab, I'm gonna get excited here. Alright. They can still cast a Mystical Dispute. Let's give them a little bit more black here. Mills them. I see a Remand. They've played Snapcaster, they've played Bolt. Let's go after the Triome here. I'll have an extra mana, which is a bit questionable. Play an island down. This is forcing a search. We get them with the crab. I almost want to just find another Mystical Dispute. I don't. Let's hit the Snapcaster here. I'm going to take a little bit of damage and then I'll Fatal Push. They drew their Nexus of Fate. That's super good for us. We do have a Lightning Helix to deal with. Okay. Don't have much left. 2 bolts Helix. Say okay to this. Let's go ahead and now bolt Snapcaster pretty cleanly here. And I think we're good on this turn. I think I'm done. Go ahead, opponent. I'm at 12. I'm technically at 9 due to the Helix. My opponent mills some things here. Mystic Sanctuary puts a Force of Negation back on top. So we're going to have to deal with a Force of Negation after this Jace is played. So Jace, I'm assuming Nexus of Fate's going to go back into the library. We mill a few. We have an Archive Trap. This doesn't do anything for us. We'll pass. We'll pass. My opponent mills some, and the Nexus of Fate does go back into the library. My opponent does some drawing as well. Plays a Teferi. Let's get a Trapmaker's Snare. I'm trying to bait out the Mystical Dispute. Alright. This is not going to be any good, so let's go ahead and grab the Archive Trap. If I draw a land here, I can just archive and try again, archive, try again, kind of thing. Alright, we hit a Search for Azcanta. This kind of helps me out. This kind of helps me out. What is Nexus of Fate? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 2 more. There's a mystical dispute. 3, 4, 5. They might bounce this. There goes a bunch of cards. 12 to go. 11 to go. Mystical dispute was used. They use that helix as well, I believe. So I have no idea what's in their hand. Flooded Strand can do that now. 4, 5, 6. They need 1 more land to be able to cast Nexus of Fate. But what does that do for them? Attempt of Visions. That draws me some cards if it resolves. Forces this exile and remand. Go ahead, opponent. They don't have to tap for this, which is good for them. We're in a dangerous spot here because if they have that Nexus of Fate, it was shuffled at one point, but if they do, having the Jace, they can almost just guarantee finding it because they only have 9 cards. They look at the top card of their library. Okay. They put it on top. Alright, they picked it up. 5 mana. Big Teferi. Alright. Picks up another card. The Ruin Crab. I'll try to replay the orb, but I think this gets cryptic. I think we've lost at this point. Well, I say that. Things are interesting, to say the least. Alright, Rune Crab here. Mesmeric Orb. Go ahead, opponent. Okay, they just counter in return. Pretty nifty. So what is this? Draw, draw, draw. My opponent takes another turn with Nexus of Fate. Okay. Up. Up. Untap. Their turn again. Helix, or Lightning Bolts me. Fairy goes up here. Bolts me. Jace looks at the top of theirs and then puts it on the bottom. Goes up with this Teferi. Untap. Can fetch here. Is there anything I want on the top? I don't think so. I think I just try for an archive trap here, which just makes the game really awkward for them. They're not tapped out here. So our archive trap would basically put Nexus of Fate on top. They have a remand. Okay. They drew a card. Fairy goes up. We have 1 card left. Can't brainstorm with Jace. Helixes me. I'm at 2. Jace looks at the top of my library. Fairy activation. Untap. And 1 more Helix. Alright, so that's how they get us. A couple Helixes. Back down to 1 card here. Nexus of Fate. Interesting match. Interesting match. Difficult one. We're going to be drawing Trap Makers and a couple Drown the Locks, which wouldn't be very good against the small Teferi. Oh well. Gotta win some, gotta lose some. This one, opponent takes it from us. Match 3 done. We'll see you in match 4. 3 out of the way. 4th one coming up. And immediately finding an opponent. Let's go. Let's get that 3x. Let's get a win here. Alright, opponent has Lurrus, we have Lurrus. And no, we didn't forget about the Lurrus in the last matchup. They had the Teferis to bounce it, and also the Jace. Let's go ahead and keep this opening hand. We'll play the Orb. Hey, the mirror match. We'll make sure they don't know it's the mirror match yet. This may be a race to who gets Lurrus down first. We will see, though. It'd be kind of fun to not search for a while in case they have Archive Trap. Orb for them. Okay. I think I want to not risk it here yet. Orb for me. Mill. Everyone's gonna mill. Woohoo! Alright. Lots of mill. Maddening. Alright. They have more of the mill spells than we do. We have more of the trap spells. Let's go ahead and Misty Rainforest here. They Surgical A Visions. Well, they grabbed 2 out of my hand here. This is pretty good for them. Pretty good for them. We'll go get a Watery Grave before we lose them all. Huh. Definitely want to get that Lurrus down, because Lurrus can get back some of these crabs, and getting back some of the crabs is going to be probably important to winning this game. Opponent's taking a while to take all of our visions and look at our entire library. You don't want to leave this here. I have a way to get it. Take it out. Remove it from the yard. There you go. Alright, I have to assume that they might have Archive Trap here. Looks like they don't do anything immediately, which is good. Archive Trap is there. Down to 41 cards for them. I'm going even further here. Maddening. I think we just lose here because we're not as aggressive. Play Ruin Crab. Land. And fetch. Another Watery Grave here. Could set adrift this Orb. That slows them down. Maybe we need a turn to slow it all down. Probably not. Let's go ahead and pass here. I don't want to mill too much. I want them to tap out more than me. I have 19 cards. I'd rather find all my fetch lands, honestly, at this point. I get another land here. They do kill crab. Poor crab. Do we have another mill spell? I think they have another one. We're dead. Yeah. Got 11 cards left. Engineered's kind of interesting. You know what? We play on. Engineered. They mill. And then I blow up the world. Gives us hope. Especially with a Lurrus in hand. We play on. We have 8 cards. They put Lurrus into their hand. Desperates they are. Polluted Delta. Blow up the world. 1, 2, 3, Luris. I'm so afraid to tap out here. If they have another land, it's going to be a problem, but I think I've got to go for this. Play Crab, play Palace. Mill them a little bit and pass the turn. I have 7 cards. If they have land, they get to play Luris and the Orb, and that's a problem for us. I need them to not be able to do that this turn. And we'll have a good shot at this, because I can bounce this Fatal Push there. Luris or their Crab. Play a new Crab. Play the land. Ooh. Ooh. It's Luris and 2 unknowns. Well, they're fetching first. Okay. Plays a Crab. Oh, they've got a fetched land. That's really good. Oh, they didn't have an extra fetch, though. Okay. One, two, three, 4. It's my most brutal thing I can do here. So Orb is worth 4. If I play a Crab, though, it's going to be worth so much more. So I have to play a Crab here. I think I've got to fetch and hopefully have another land. I need to probably play the land first, right? Let's see here. We can probably figure it out if I have a land left. We have an island here. 2 islands. 3 islands. And I already have all my swamps, I think. I currently have 2 swamps. Let's look. Do I have 3 swamps in this list? No, I didn't think so. So I have exactly this land. I need to set adrift the Luris, play the land, and Fatal Push the Crab and see what happens. Really doesn't matter what I've got here at this point. I've got everything else that I could. Land drop. Crab. Fatal Push their Crab. Try to take them off a little bit extra black. So we have a Surgical, a Drown, and a Trap. These cards are terrible. Alright. I guess I'll attack for 3, obviously. Alright, just don't have it. It's Miracle Orb. No! So we would have drawn what appears to be a Surgical. I would have been able to play a new Crab and bounce this. Wonder if there was a way to play around that. Probably not really, because I probably have to still kill the Luris there. Okay, so about this list. Feeds and Echoing Truths are probably okay. Extirpates, because we're going to go ham sandwich on each other. Engineered Explosives is probably okay here as well. I don't like my Trapmaker Snare necessarily. I don't like Crypt Incursion here. Set Adrift is okay. Mission's okay. Fatal Pushes are okay. Maybe I don't need the Engineered. Maybe I don't need these feeds. What about these? These 4 for these 4? Trap Makers just gives me more archive traps. do that. Let's go. Let's go. Aggression here. Let's do it. Trap makers here for the archive traps. We're going to bring some Echoing Truth in here to bounce some of the crabs to make casting things a little bit strange and odd and off balance for our opponent. Got to play that Lurrus quickly. Let's make it happen. I'm on the play this time. Let's make it go. Keep crabbing away. Crabbing away. Let's go, opponent. I've got the fetch land. I'm ready for your archive traps. Don't worry. Prismatic Vista. Okay. Probably gets blue here. Ooh, black. Black. They got rid of the crab. Play new crab. I'm going to just do a field here. I could be doing the fetch, but I'm trying to hit something nasty. I think I'm good to just take a random draw here. I don't think crab's dying. There's 2 blood chiefs down there. I'm not worried about them playing their crab. Dang, fatal push. Alright, 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 alright. Prismatic Vista. That'd been funny to hit that. Extra swamp here. Doesn't get any blue mana, which is interesting. Hedron Crab. I'm going to go ahead and do the fetch and the shock here. Let's see if we can hit an archive trap one more time. Hit a surgical. Oops. Alright, well, I'm going to fetch, shock. If they've got the archive trap, they've got it. It's not the end of the world. Play a search down. I see Ruin Crabs set adrift, Prismatic Vistas. I see a pair of those. I see 1 Polluted Delta. I almost want to steal that Polluted Delta. Like, it seems weird, but there's the archive trap. Keeping them off blue would be pretty funny. Cling to Dust, my archive trap. Okay. We'll go to the draw step here. I'm going to snag this Polluted Delta. This is a big brain play right here. Ah, we didn't hit it. Oh well, it was a mill for 4 here. So we do have Palace. Soul Guide. Fields. Alright. Sounds good. At least I'll be able to search for Skanta here. Palace down. Soul Guide. Cool. Are they gonna get rid of my graveyard? They get rid of their own crab. Okay. Maddenings. 29 to 35 cards. Gets rid of our graveyard. Alright. Search for Skanta, trigger here. No, I'll keep this. Field. Mill. Oops. Let's go ahead and get rid of the palace in the sky. And we'll get more black here. And now I can counter something as well. And we're just milling them. That's what we're doing. Just milling them. There goes an archive trap. We have an extra pate. Go ahead. Visions. Oops. Denied. Denied. No. Not allowed to draw that many cards. Undo. Fatal pushes crab. Alright, well, Lurrus, let's get it going. Opponent fields, puts their Lurrus into their hand. Search for Skanta does its thing. Visions. Say no. Draw with visions. Put our Luris into the hand. I don't see anything frightening over there. Luris can get back a crab for them. It's scary, but not frightening. Surgical's my visions. That's fine. So they have the ability to just play a crab here or a Soul Guide Lantern, whichever they want to do. They get to see my hand, though, which is supposedly good. We have this crab, too. Luris play that crab. Then play this crab, then play this crab. 8 crab. Mini crab. Power crab. I wonder how many visions I had left. I had all of them. Who needed them anyway? Alright. Luris here and something else. Cool. What's up, Luris? I will take a fetch land off the top. There you go. This crab. Bloop. Bloop. Okay. Search for Skanta, looking for a fetch land. We can bin Keatron Crab. Archive Trap, huh? We'll just play the 2 crabs down, pass the turn, hope my opponent whiffs here. If we go searching, we get some triggers here, and then we also get to Archive Trap them. I don't care about getting attacked for 3. They could get another crab here, which is problematic. I think our opponent's the better mill deck in the mirror. In the mirror, they're the better mill deck. What are we gonna do, Mr. Crab? Mr. Crab. Cashing something. I did hit a bunch of their polluted deltas earlier. Soul Guide Lanterns are a choice. They do tap the Field of Ruin, which is kind of cool. They get rid of my crab. We have another one. Draws a card. Okay. New crab. Land. Okay. Mills us for a little bit. All right. Search for Skanta trigger here. Field of Ruin. What is the value of a Field of Ruin here? It's an extra land drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 13. I can flip this as well. So land drop. I think we win here. It's a close one, though. Field. They're empty-handed here. Hopefully I have another land. If I don't, this is going to get a bit awkward. I do, thankfully. Mill. Archive Trap. Blast them. And play an orb. Okay, so we can beat the mill. So which is the better mill? Which is the better mill? It might be just who's playing first. Changes. Zero changes. Let's go. Let's go. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Obviously, my opponent's playing some Soul Guide Lanterns, can pick apart my graveyard. Makes the Searcher's Kanta a little bit weaker. Oh well. Just something we're going to have to deal with. Just something we're going to have to deal with. Opening hand, we have a Ruin Crab, some Fields, and a Set Adrift. I guess I can do this. We might even be patient with the Ruin Crab here. Polluted Delta. Water Grave. And their Crab. Do I be patient? It's probably worth being patient here. Visions is my opponent's choice here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We'll play Crab down. I'm going to go ahead and fetch and shock. We'll see if they have archived traps galore here. And Fatal Push their Crab. Go ahead, opponent. They do have an archive trap. But that was it. Looks like I'm getting Luris down next. Well, not immediately, at least. Put Luris into hand. Maybe I'm supposed to fetch and shock immediately there. That way I have the extra mana that I might be needing. Alright, we have a second mana source here. 36 to 42. We're only down by 6. We're going to make that different here. What if I don't play Luris immediately here? Drown the Lock? Is that a thing they're going to do to me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Extirpates Archive Trap. No! Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and play Luris and get the Crab down. They get my Archive Trap. They did it. They've done it. Can we beat the last 4 cards? I think we've got a shot at it. We have a shot at it. I could wait a turn so that with Luris I have the ability to Echoing Truth it. But waiting a turn and then Echoing Truth means I'm even waiting a further turn from crabbing them. Extirpates my Polluted Delta here. I love it. I love it. Okay. Alright. Do I get to play Magic now? I don't have enough black here. Let's go ahead and hit them with a field here as well to change their colors around just a little bit. Make it a little harder for them to cast things. I'll have Luris next turn. And they don't have the ability to Fatal Push, so that's good for us. We go down to 20. Let's go ahead and slap down a Luris here. Play a Ruin Crab, seems okay. Land and mill. Go ahead, opponents. We have a Visions we could play. 19. 19 cards here. Ooh. Ooh, Center of the Sea. That's a Field of the Ruin target. Maddenings me. I'm going to 12. All right, another echoing. Let's play. It's probably just another ruin crab. Play another ruin crab. I probably don't have any targets for this field of ruin, unfortunately. Do I have visions myself? Let's take a gander at what we have. We don't have any Drown the Locks in the yard yet, so that's an easy pickup with the visions. I see one island swamps. Let's look over here. Just polluted deltas and archive traps. This is probably smarter to do the visions here. That being said, I have 2 crabs. Maybe I go after one of my islands here. Just kind of like this, do an island. Maybe I wait. How bad is this going to be? Each player draws a card. It costs 2. You know what? Let's just visions. I'm going to hit that Drown the Lock right here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right. We're looking hot. I'm going to stop on my opponent's draw. And I'm going to steal away a Maddening, as I only see 1. Could be attacking with Luris, but that's not how we're winning this game. Let's grab a Maddening here. I'm going to pay life total. Alright, Drown the Lock. Be true. Be true. Alright, we steal 2 Maddenings here. My opponent's got Archive, Blood, Chiefs, and a Fatal Push. Okay. Remaining cards that we have to worry about right now. We do see a Swamp, Surgicals, Ruin Crabs, Hedron Crabs, Archive Traps. They have an Archive Trap here, so we need to be careful what we do with this field. Careful, but don't have to completely shut it off. Alright. Do I grab these out of here? No. How am I winning this? They have 2 visions. I'm going to be milling them again anyway. So I need to dodge this Archive Trap. I need to dodge Ruin and Hedron Crabs. Alright. Okay. Is that all? 8 cards to go. Eight cards to go. Basically, I need to play all the crabs I can and then just hit them with a huge field of ruin here. If I could. They decide we're going to draw cards together. I drew another Drown. That looks really good for us, having 2 Drowns now. Looks good. Is it good, though? There's a mission briefing. Could mission briefing the Surgical to nail their Archive Trap here. I don't think I like that. I think I'm playing another, like, a Hedron Crab here or something. This attack might cost me. Now looking at our life totals and kind of going, hey, this is where we're at. We know they had quite a few Hedron Crabs. What are you thinking about, opponent? I think I want to do a surgical in response to something on probably the archive trap so that I can use this field. Because for me, I have 1 swamp, 2 swamps, so swamps are out. I have 1 island here and 2 in play, so actually field doesn't get me anything. I don't even know if I have enough lands now. Play a Hedron Crab. Let's attack. I think I've just got to play counter magic here. They're going to make us draw again. Palace in the Sky. I want that card. Can I have that one? Can I have that one? We're very close to them just being able to hard cast Archive Trap here. They play it and return it immediately to hand. Ah, so they can Fatal Push. Can Echoing this if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and Echoing this back. Okay. And that end step here, I'm going to go ahead and mission briefing. I'm going to not surveil any of these. They're going to stay on top. But I'm going to hit a surgical here, surgicaling their archive trap. We'll put on top. Put on top. Let's go ahead and grab a surgical here. Surgical. I know the target. I'd like to grab your archive trap, please. A surgical, my surgical. This actually mills us a card. And it shuffles what we just did on top. So we don't know what we're drawing. They do see the 2 drown the locks, though. 4 cards. Four cards. Can we get there? I don't get to see anything they're doing. Which is problematic. We draw a land. Alright, I think my only winning line really at this point, it's probably play Luris and just hope that they don't have their mill spell right here, because I've got to go off the double black. And hold on to Shelldock as long as I can here. Alright, Luris down. Play a new crab. Hope for the best. Go ahead, opponent. Turn is free. We know it's Palace in the Clouds and 2 unknowns. Actually, it's Blood Chiefs and Fatal Push, I believe. Or no, they've used the Fatal Push. So it's a Blood Chiefs and an Archive Trap and a Palace. So it's a random draw here. It's the Palace back down. We draw with our friend over there. Another drown the lock. So this is the last turn for me. Because they'll make me draw. I guess I can field. And I can archive trap. Ah, they know what's left. They know what's left. I've probably missed a chance at something extraordinarily brilliant. So I've got to field this so I don't lose to them drawing. So field that. Counter the archive trap. I don't get to play anything this turn. Oh, they're surgicling. What are they surgicling? Hedron Crab. Oh, do they know I have one more of those? Oh, I had one more. No, not good. Blood Chief's away a crab of my own. All right. I'm going to take the draw here. We've got a few things we've got to do. All right, so we top deck a Hedron Crab. I need to set adrift something to the top of my library so that I don't mill out. I need to kill this. We have 28 cards. So that would be set adrift mana. 2 mana kill and then play a crab down. What am I setting adrift? I guess it's Luris, right? So set adrift. I'm basically asking them to have another land for Archive Trap to get my last card. So let's grab the Hedron Crab from the yard. Two. I do have to kill this land. Oh, I know they have Archive Trap. So do I just have to play this crab here too? Let's go for it all. So play new crab, play the land down, mill them for all of this. I don't think this is enough. All of that. Play the orb down. Set adrift. I don't believe there's a way I can win this, unfortunately. Attack with Luris. Yeah. They go to 6. They would be at 3 with the Luris. If I would have attacked that other time, I can make them mill 4 more here. I wish I could put a land on top. Looks like this is as close as we could get it. And then set adrift the Luris back on top. But this isn't enough. This isn't enough. Because I would mill out here as well. Wonder if there was something else I could have done earlier in the game. Maybe hit the draw card instead of keep playing the crabs and then have the Drown the Lock to stop the Archive Trap. This was close. This is close. I think we will need suggestions at what point in the game maybe we could have switched this one around. But there you have it. Our opponent's got us here. Nothing I can do. They pass it back, and we lose. Off of mill. Whew. Pretty close game. Not too disappointed. And the fact that we beat a list that's trying to do just the typical maddenings and pretty normal list, I'm happy with. We're 2-2 overall, and that means we've got a chance at this 3-2. Let's go. Next match. Starting well to now falling off. Win, win, loss, loss. Final match here with a trap version of mill. Let's go. And of course we will play first. We'll declare our Luris, and we'll get a no-lander. Goodbye. A one-lander. Can we keep a one-lander? Probably not. It's mulligan again. All right. Keep this. Let's get rid of Fatal Push. Let's get rid of a Trapmaker's Snare. And let's play Hedron Crab. Go ahead. My opponent has said, hello, YouTube, question mark. I'm not YouTube. Shriekhorn. Let's go. Drawing the lock looks pretty bad now. Crab. They're trying to get into our YouTube exclusive content. How dare you? I'm not streaming. Let's hope we don't hit anything. I'm just gonna say I'm just playing. Just playing. You're on YouTube. Psycho Emotion, you made it. Big screen. How does it feel? Leave us a comment. I'll be watching. Crab and Crab doing crab things. They love my content. There's a stinkweed. Alright, well, I'm not going to fetch immediately here. We'll let the Shriekhorn do its thing. Tons of mill going to happen here. Just mill. They love our content. There's a Creeping Chill. Alright, we'll allow Stinkweed to do Stinkweed things. We don't want to activate that prized amalgam anytime soon. Go ahead, opponent. Shriekhorn again. They've got Stinky. Dredge's Stinkweed. Narcomoeba. Alright. And a prized amalgam. Things are going to get crazy here. Another Shriekhorn. Activates this. Hits another Creeping Chill. This is awful. I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Watery Grave here. Tapped. Mill. At this point, it's just try to beat them. There's a prized amalgam. Let's put a fetch land out. This mills them some more. We do have the ability to tag off a prized amalgam here, which I will plan to do. Shriekhorns here. Let's see if they want to do any activations. They take a natural draw. We do have a conflag here. Mills. Hits hopefully nothing of value. I'm scared. Mills more. Okay. This Field of Ruin might be just a Stone Rain at this point. Attacks for damage. We'll drown the 3/3. Could have drowned the conflag here if they have that, but I think I'm okay at where I'm at with being at 9. We'll fetch. Watery Grave. Mill. Mill. We have 11 cards to go. Field. Mill, mill. Mill, mill, mill. And field away the stomping ground here. Get a land. Mill, mill, mill. Got there. Whew. Dredge is going to be an interesting one. It always is. Last Creeping Chill takes me to 5. They have 0 cards, though. That should be good, right? All right, prized amalgams come back, but we get them. First game done. Luckily, we have extirpates, ravenous traps. Probably don't mind some damnations here. Echoing Truth might not be bad either. Set Adrift, no. Engineered Explosives, probably not. Crypt Incursion looks good. Trapmaker Snares look okay. My opponent does search. I can probably go down a couple Archive Traps because I'm bringing in other Ravenous Traps. Fatal Pushes look kind of weak here, so that's 8. This is 8 that I want to bring in. Let's go. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. By the way, Psycho Emotion, if you see the sideboarding, we told you we weren't doing the YouTube content so that you don't sweat it. Is that a nice thing to say? It should be nice, right? I feel like I'm the good guy, but I'm worried that I'm not. Dredge vs. Mill. Game 2 coming up. Click. Edit. Chop out this portion. Sweep it under the rug. You'll never see it. You'll see it all because I'm not editing it out. Let's go. Luris declared. Opening hand has a surgical Crypt Incursion, but no lands. I've got a mulligan. This looks good. We'll keep this. Probably just ditch the Drown the Lock this time around and go for it. We can do surgical plus mission briefing surgical. Pretty happy. Keep. All right, opponent. What do we got? Forgotten Cave. Let's do a Watery Grave here. Shock it in for that extra value. Wooded Foothills. Searching. Stomping Ground. Cathartic Reunion with a Golgari Thug. Let's go ahead and snag Golgari Thug here. Sounds good. Alright, and we have Arid Mesa and Creeping Chill. I can keep track of that. +2 random cards. Alright, Fetch Land looks pretty decent here. Let's get some milling done. Mill a little bit. There's a Stinkweed. Don't want that. Go with another island here. I think I'm tempted to mill them a little bit more here. Let's go for it. I'm scared. There's a Creeping Chill. I don't care about that so much. Although that'll do some damage. Let's go ahead and mission briefing. Put on Graveyard. We'll put the Ravenous Trap on top. I like that. Surgical away the Stinkweed. I do see a Life from the Loam there. I'm not too concerned about that card. Alright. Creeping. Let's grab these. Arid Mesa, Conflag, Creeping, Forgotten, and a Ghoul. Let's go. It is nice to know what we are drawing here. It's Ravenous Trap. That should take some pressure off of us. They do dredge the Life from the Loam. Don't hit anything too scary. This Bloodghast is, it's got a name on us. I presume one of these lands will hit here. There you go, Bloodghast. We have a Luris that can block this. They do get a prized amalgam back out of this as well. They shock in here. So we have a prized amalgam and a bloodghast to beat. I'm probably not blocking this turn. I'm gonna come flag for one. Loams. Forgotten Cave cycle here using Loam. Gets an Archamoeba. Oh, this is turning out really nicely for them. Attacks for 2. I go to 8. Land. Mill. Pass the turn. This could be dangerous. Actually, I think we lose because of the conflag here. Doing a Ravenous Trap here kind of gives that's one of my ways to interact with them. So let's not do that. Let's block here. Conflag me for 5. That's what it looks like. And I think that's what it is. All right. To 0 we go. Conflag for 5. They hold 1 card. These archive traps. Probably want one more of these in. Let's get rid of an Echoing Truth. All right. Surgicals, Extirpates, Crypt Incursions, Ravenous Traps. Let's see here. We might mulligan a little bit to try to find Trap plus something. Well, let's see. Let's play first. Luris. What up, Luris? Okay. I'm kind of okay with this. We'll just start by playing a Swamp past the turn. We'll plan to get Orb down. Love to get to 3 mana before using this Archive Trap. Maybe Surgical can breach between those two. Being able to Crypt Incursion with like 3 things, 4 things in the graveyard, it's a big swing for us. And being on the play, I feel like we've got a good shot at this. Opponent mulligans to 4. That's not good. Don't mulligan all the way, opponent. Come on, you got this. Believe. I believe in you. Blood Crypt, no searching so far. Shocks it in. Shriekhorn. Shriekhorn mills any? Does not. Okay. Let's play Palace in the Clouds in pass turn. I want one more turn here before I start slapping down some stuff, I think. The prized amalgam. Okay. Do they go again? They just take a natural draw. Oh. Oh, Narcomoeba. Amoeba. Amoeba. Alright, we talked about bridging the gap here. Narcomoeba is a problem card for us. Get to kind of see what's going on as well. Obviously, we want to take this one. Life, Axe, Ghoul. Alright. Say okay. Fetches. So we're going to do that probably Life from the Loam here. Which is okay for us. These are 2 more fetch lands. I wonder how bad an Archive Trap here at end step would be. Probably not that bad. Let's nail them. A couple Creeping Chills. Could be worse. So Life of the Loam is out right now. Axe, Ghoul, and 2 fetch lands here. Crypt Incursion does gain me a good amount here, and we'll probably just go ahead and fire this off. Because I know they don't have any other things. They won't have to use this, so using this now gains me a good amount of life. I go up to 29. We pass turn. Okay. They have this Life from the Loam. They use that. We do see a Prized Amalgam. You could consider it greedy to do what I did. I don't think it's too greedy, though. They mill another Creeping Chill. Having a life total is important. We'll see. Wooded Foothills. Fetches and shocks it in here. Oh, they're tapping completely out. This is nice because I'm going to do double orb here. All right, field down. Orb number 1. Orb number 2. Good luck. They do kind of have to attack me to kill me in many cases. So double orb here. It's dangerous, but hey, you know, 21 cards to go. I see a Blood Gas there. See some Stinkies. 1 Prized Amalgam. Got a Conflag over here. Got an Ox. Opponent's got it all. Opponent has it all. Attacks puts me to 23. Will that an early Crypt Incursion get us to the victory we need? Blood Gas comes back. Bloodstained Mire. Prized Amalgam coming back. We do have a Conflag here. Conflag's for about 3-ish right now. 2 mana for this Ox. We can field the green source here. I don't see a forest yet. They usually do run one. All right. We're dredging still. No fear from our opponent. Oh, they took a natural draw. They dredged once and then took some natural draws. Prized Amalgam comes back. Top of the library after some mill. Then Extirpate. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I want them to dredge and then I can nail this Conflag in the draw step. We're milling them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now. Go ahead, opponent. Mills a whole bunch. And then in the draw step here, I'm going to nail the Conflag, because I think that's one way they can kill me here. Alright, so there is a Creeping Chill and a pair of Life from the Loams left. Let's go ahead and nail the green source here as well. Just so they don't do any weird shenanigans with green mana. Good luck. At 23, how do you beat me? Well, that doesn't kill me. We mill a bit here. That's brutal. Yeah, let's just shut the door. Come on. Crypt Incursion, whatever's left in the yard here. I go up to 28. We'll pass the turn. My opponent's untapping with 4 creatures, 2 Mesmeric Orbs here. 8 goes. And that is what it is. 1 Creeping Chill milled over here, and the remainder of the cards that we saw. And that'll do it. Close game, good game. Well played, Psycho Emotion. I think that was good. That was good. Good back and forth. I liked it. Very nice. 3-2 for us overall. Playing mill. We will see you in the conclusion. 3-2. Mill, a trap mill here in Modern. Very typical of your mill plan, but we're not playing Maddening or Glimpse the Unthinkable. Two cards you would think are mainstays in the mill list. No, instead we have Archive Trap, Crab number 1, and Crab number 2, plus Luris. That's kind of an interesting combination of cards, being that with those plus maybe some of these Mesmeric Orbs, we can win. And the list went 5-0, and our list went 3-2 on our first outing. Very interesting. This list is a little more interactive. It's got those fatal pushes, it's got those feed, the swarms, but because you're playing this Trapmaker's Snare, you actually get to play some interesting, less aggressive in your sideboard. So you typically go, okay, I need some Ashioks and Ravenous Traps because I'm throwing everything to the graveyard, and if my opponent plays out of the graveyard, dredge, then I need to be able to get rid of what they're doing. And we actually did okay. Now, I know some people in the mill community don't particularly like Crypt Incursion main board against a non-creature list. This could be painful, and we did feel some of that against that Jeskai list. But overall, pretty sweet list. I like the Set Adrift and Engineered Explosive, especially with the Luris. This Engineered Explosive is a good little Wrath type effect for little creature decks. The Set Adrift main deck is probably smart. A couple Snares actually increases the number of Archive Traps, and with so many decks searching for stuff, it's not a bad thing to have. We did run into one list that was not playing fetch lands. That's okay. They tried to mill us out, and we beat them to it. Sorry, Archmage Charm taking my crab. I don't think that was the plan. Overall, though, mill, blue-black. Let me know if you enjoyed this. As always, subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. This has been my YouTube exclusive here, and we'll see you in the next matches. Take care all, and be safe.